frustrating incompletions, receivers seemingly running the wrong routes, quarterbacks, man, did they even read the defense? Did they even see the progressions correctly? All right, y'all, today I want to take a little time and I want to walk us through plays that didn't go right. I'm going to give you one play in particular that things went wrong, and I want to do my best to try to explain to you guys what happened and what caused the Eagles to not function correctly during that play. All right, y'all, let's get to it. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this. Once again, guys, my name is Steven Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. All right, y'all, today's topic. We're going to talk about when plays don't go right, guys. I mean, we're going to talk about the little intricate details that cause a play to be unsuccessful. It's never as straightforward and cut and dry as people like to think. There's always multiple factors that weigh into why a play goes wrong. And I got to tell you, one of the games that really frustrated me when I went back and watched the film of it, and it frustrated me even during watching it live, guys, was that New England game. Just because, let's be honest, as much as I don't like Bill Belichick, I'll tell you this about this guy. He is one of the greatest defensive minds to ever coach in the NFL. This guy understands how to manipulate both pre-snap and post-snap with his defenses, okay? He never, ever, ever lets you feel comfortable with what you're seeing. And we saw that play out on a pivotal third down in that game. It was early on in the game. It was when we still had relative health. I say relative health because we weren't very healthy going into that game, but Lane Johnson was still in the football game at this point. And I'll be honest, man, give Bill Belichick credit. He outcoached Doug Pederson on that down and distance. These were two very good third down teams, third down defenses and third down offenses that were squaring against each other. We knew it was going to be a battle. We knew it was going to be a good battle. And this play in particular, guys, it left you wanting a little more. All right, y'all. It was an RPO pass. I'm going to take you to it. It was a third down and short. And look, I said enough, so let's go ahead and let's get into a little film study, guys. All right, let's roll that film, guys. All right, ladies and gents, this is early in the first quarter of the Philadelphia-New England game. We were playing at home, and what you see here is, I think it's their second, maybe third possession of the game. There's 11 minutes left in the first quarter. You can see Philadelphia comes out in an 11-man personnel. Take a look, and you can see, to me, it appears you got Matt Collins out there. It looks like you probably have, I'm going to say that is Jordan Matthews. And then you have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside at the bottom of your screen. So J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is lined up as your X receiver. You got Matt Collins kind of lined up, looks like as your Z. Then looks like they have Jordan Matthews in the slot. You can see Zach Ertz is kind of in a wing formation, kind of inline to the line of scrimmage there as a wing. And you got Miles Sanders in the backfield, okay? We're coming out 11-man. In reverse, if you take a look at New England, guys, look how New England's lined up here. New England is giving Carson a cover 2 look. Now you might say, okay, cool, cover 2 look. Shouldn't they expect a zone? Well, the thing is that New England doesn't run a lot of zone, guys. New England was the least likely to run zone, guys. They ran more man than any other team last season. So, my gut instinct tells me that Carson Wentz and Doug Pederson were expecting to see cover 2 man under, okay? I think that's the coverage that they were expecting to see here. It's not the coverage they received, because what they see pre-snap is not what they're going to receive post-snap here. And that's a big deal because Bill Belichick really, really outcoaches, I hate to say it, Doug Pederson in this particular instance, guys. If you watch the play unfold, what you're going to see here is you're going to see an RPO, okay? So I'm going to run it slowly and I'll show you the RPO action first. Watch as Carson Wentz takes this handoff, okay? Look, he's reading first the running game here, but you can see that I think that's number 70 for New England absolutely collapses that interior pocket. He can't hand it off. So this is meant to be a bang bang play if you're gonna throw it. So let me rewind the tape, okay? All right, Now you can see. Let's go ahead and let's start it again. We know that this run's not going to work out. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to work Zach Ertz out into that flat. So it's supposed to be a bang, bang play. But watch what New England does. They're not in man. New England passes off in a zone. That completion's not there to Zach Ertz, which means Carson has to hold the ball and come back underneath on that. Essentially, it's a slant route to JJ. To JJ's credit, he catches the football. Carson makes a good read because, the run wasn't there. That pass out there to Zach Ertz was not available. The problem is, if you looked at this from the naked eye, it would look like Carson Wentz held onto the football entirely too long. But the truth of the matter is, it's not really Carson holding on to the ball too long. It was the play design was highly flawed given the defensive alignment. And that falls on both Wentz and Doug Pederson. Okay? Wentz didn't, and look, there's no reasonable reason to expect that Wentz would have noticed this pre-snap, but either New England gave them nothing on the film or they didn't see it on the film. But New England threw a curveball at him. And you can see Wentz pays a toll here because Wentz has to hold it an extra second to come back underneath to JJ. Well, on an RPO, what is your offensive line doing, guys? Your offensive line is getting down the field and they're blocking. That's a problem, right? If your offensive line is getting down the football field and blocking, that means you're going to get a penalty on that. And that's exactly what happens as a result of that. And then it goes from a 3rd and 4 to like a 3rd and 9. I mean, completely changes the dynamic of that down and distance now. And this is just an example, guys, of when a play goes completely and utterly wrong. What happened is that what they were expecting to see was not the defensive alignment that Bill Belichick and this New England Patriots defense ended up giving to Doug Pederson and Carson Wentz. It's a valuable lesson, that's for sure.
And you want to surprise them when they don't get their packages in.
All right, ladies and gents, that's just a small example of when a play went wrong. What we have here is a designed RPO, run-pass option, right, to where the interior offensive line doesn't quite get the block it needs and allows enough penetration to get through that front line that it takes the running option out of it. And then, sadly enough, it looks like that there was enough film on that play and us running it that we fooled nobody. To me, it just seems like, Bill Belichick knew exactly what we were trying to do there, and he knew exactly where to put it, where to place his defenders. Because if you look at what the play design was off that RPO, you had a small kind of flat route, right? You have this kind of drag route that's coming off the line here to the tight end, which was the primary receiver on a bang-bang play. And then you had a built-in kind of slant. It's kind of a slant, but it's not because he's kind of sitting down in the zone. After he recognizes it's a zone, he sits down in it. The problem is on RPO, guys, we're talking about tenths of a second make a big difference, right? This isn't a guy. I mean, if you went from start to finish of him getting the ball out of his hands, we're not talking about a long period of time elapsing here, right? We're talking about a very, very short window of time. But it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because all it takes is for 2/10 of a second, and now you got your offensive lineman illegally blocking down the field. It's one of the dangers of the RPO, and look, you got to give credit sometimes where credit's due. And on this particular play, I think you just got to give Bill Belichick his credit, man. He defended it beautifully. He called the exact defense to take that exact play away from you. His players, the individual players on that defense, there's a reason why they were such a great defense last year. The individual players made the individual plays that were required within the system. Sometimes, man, you just got to admit when a team they had you on that one. It's one play. It's one sample size of one play here, guys. And this is not some kind of a long-term projection thing. This is just giving you guys the basis and the idea of how many things go wrong on an individual play that doesn't work out. And, it just sucks, man, because it just feels like split difference here. Maybe just a quick adjustment, a quick read to what's going on there. I think you have a shot at converting that. If Wentz just kind of tucks that down and probably scrambles for that, he might have gotten it. The problem is, man, is that bang-bang play, you're trying to make the decision from the pocket. It just doesn't leave you a lot of time to process that kind of information, guys, and make that type of play. But hey, that was the topic. I'm just showing you the honest-to-God truth of what the film shows on a play like this. Look, this is something that has to be game planned better in the future, guys. This is why we got guys like Marty Morningwig in here to work with Doug Pederson. It's why we got guys like Rich Grandrello here, right? It's why we brought in Andrew Brenner, whatever his name is. We brought in all these guys to help us make sure this offense doesn't come too stale. Make sure that this kind of thing doesn't continue, doesn't happen a little too often. That's the point of doing all this kind of stuff, guys. All right, y'all. These are my thoughts on this topic, but you already know I'm going to ask you. I want to know, what do you think? All right, guys, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, man. I mean, I can do a couple more of these videos, guys. I got a few more of these left in me. If you guys like to see me keep kind of doing these things and breaking down what goes wrong in any individual given play, I got no problem doing that, guys. I think it's an interesting topic, and I think it's something that helps you learn. You know how the old saying goes, guys. You learn more from your mistakes than your successes. So, hey, maybe this is something that could be helpful for not only, just kind of us having a general understanding, but really expanding the knowledge base of the entire fan base in general, guys. All right, y'all. That's all I got to say on this topic, man. You know how we end these videos, guys. We do a little something like EAGLES. All right, y'all. Let's go Eagles, guys.